Hey, welcome back to Axial GT. Now that the Ryzen 3000 launch is come and gone, we have a lot of SKUs to choose from. But as a gamer, what SKU is right for you? What CPU should you choose? Let's dive in. Now before we get started, be sure to subscribe for future content. I sure would appreciate it. Now for this guide, we'll be starting with my choice for mid-range CPU, and that would be the Ryzen 5 3600. With its 3.6 GHz base clock and its 4.2 GHz boost, this, I believe, is the best pure gaming / streaming CPU you can buy for its price, coming in at $200. It's a gaming beast. With its 6 cores and 12 threads, when paired with the right GPU, you can expect some high frame rates even while streaming. This here's my go-to gaming / streaming CPU. Now I've seen a lot of tech outlets and even YouTubers pushing the Ryzen 5 3600X. I made a video about that here, and be sure to check that out. Now the 3600X is one of those chips that really shouldn't exist because price to performance, it takes it out of the running. Next up we have the Ryzen 7 3700X. Now this is my choice for the ultimate gaming CPU for any high-end gaming rig. It also gets my vote for the best all-around CPU. Whether you dabble in gaming or content creation, this chip does both extremely well. With its 8 cores and 16 threads, having a base clock of 3.6 GHz and the boost topping out at 4.4, like I said, this is my pick for the ultimate gaming chip and best all around for someone who does content creation. Now I would avoid the 3800X because it falls in line the same reasons of the 3600X. Price to performance, there's no point for that chip even existing. So stick with the $330 3700X and enjoy your gaming or content creation because this chip can definitely get it done. Now I will skip the 3900X. I see it as more of a workstation CPU, and with its over $700 price tag, as a gamer, I don't believe you'll see any better performance out of it versus the 3700, and it's just crazy expensive. Now we come to the budget end. I saved this for last is because this is what I deal in most of. You see, budget is actually a relative term. Everybody's budget is actually different. But when we're talking budget, usually people are meaning the low end. And I actually have 2 chips that I recommend for the low end of the spectrum. And that would be the Ryzen 5 2600. It's a 6-core, 12-thread chip that can be had for around $140, and sometimes on sale even cheaper than that. That'd be kind of like my high-end budget build is what I would use that chip for. It's a very capable CPU, not actually as good as its recent Ryzen 3000 big brother, the 3600, but you can still manage some really high frame rates and good for 1080p and 1440p gaming. And the last chip that I recommend for low-end budget gaming is the Ryzen 3 2200G, another last gen chip. This 4-core, 4-thread chip is still very capable of pushing frames to the GPU at 1080p. And with its $85 price tag, you really can't go wrong. Now, like I said, all these chips or budgets, I actually should say, are relative because this guy's for if you're buying brand new chips. Now, it does throw a big monkey wrench into things if you decide to, let's say, get a chip off of eBay. You might be able to get a higher chip and spend a lot less money. And I buy chips off eBay all the time. But in closing, I will say that all the chips in this guide I would pair with a X370, B450, and X470 motherboard. As a gamer, I would avoid the X570 chipset because you won't see any more performance with the new chipset versus the old chipset with any of these chips. As a gamer, I explain it more in detail in this video right here. Be sure to check it out. So, these are my picks for the Ryzen line of CPUs. Tell me, what are your picks? And tell me also if I've overlooked any CPU that I should reconsider. Well, with that, be sure to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful or informative. And don't forget to hit that bell notification to be notified of future content. Well, with that, I'm out of here. You all have a good one.